Indian women's female cricketer Jemimah Rodriguez is back in the dock again. This time, not in the good news for sure. Her membership at India's one of most coveted clubs, the Gymkhana in Mumbai, has been revoked and she has been removed temporarily. A 3-year honorary membership was granted to her for her achievements, but it later emerged that her father, Ivan Rodriguez, was using the club for religious activities to preach and also made an attempt to convert a few people. Amidst all of this, I speak to a few members of the Gymkhana. Joining me today is Mr. Nitin Gadekar, who is the former president, Ms. Madhvi Ashar, who is the vice president, and Mr. Shiv Malhotra, who is the committee member. Firstly, ma'am, thank you for speaking to us. I want to understand, when did this issue emerge or come to light?
So we came to know about it in around April of this year. This has been going on since 1 year already, and bookings were made for up to 1.5 years, means till November this year. We came to know about it in April, and that's when, a few members complaining that, we are not getting bookings for any of the weekends. How can it be like that? And so these people, Mr. Gadekar and Mr. Shiv Malhotra, and I think a couple of other members probably went to see the hall mein kya chal raha hai karke. And when they walked in and they saw all that, that day itself we had our managing committee meeting, and it was taken up at the managing committee meeting, and we said that this is not done. What is happening, kind of. So the president was very, Arey, no, aisa kuch nahi, we'll see that, all the compensation is paid, and, we had to work backward to see, track, okay, what payments were made, what was not done. So they were using the club at member cost. And 35 events they conducted in that 1 year time, which was, very, very sad to have happened any which ways. So Jemimah, being such a wonderful sports person, I mean, and we really, really encourage sports as Gymkhana. That's the reason she was given membership, So we are very sad that something like this has come up. And when it came up, like I said, it was taken up at the managing committee, and we had to work backward to check it out, because that same day it had come to light. And after that, the president, being the chair of the meeting, he didn't want to talk about it further, and things like that. So finally, certain members, Mr. Gadekar, put in a motion which can be taken up only at the AGM. Now, at the AGM is held once in a year. So it was taken up last Sunday at the AGM as a motion, where nothing regarding Jemimah's membership was brought up, but he had these questions which the president needed to answer. And spontaneously during the AGM, everybody said that this is atrocious, this should not have happened, and we want to cancel her membership. So unanimously at the AGM, the members proposed to cancel her membership, and that was what happened.
So we see you are holding on to a document, a very vital piece of paper. This seems to be out of a diary entry. If you can show it for a camera. Ms. Asher rightly pointed out that this had been going on since last year, which is April 2023. That is the same time she had been inducted into the club and had been granted the honorary sports membership. Sir, so what do you want to say about that it kept going unnoticed under the watchful eye of the president? Does it seem like he allowed this to happen blatantly and violate these kind of rules?
Certainly, because I have in fact just come across his press release, okay, which speaks about these matters being handled by the administrative department. Certainly this was all under wraps. As a vice president, she didn't have any idea about it. Our other office bearers had no idea and nor did any of our managing committee. None of us had any idea about what was going on. Now, for him to say that even he was not aware is a lie. For a simple reason that I am going to produce a document which you can show, which is very clear. We have separate rates for members. Our membership is almost 1 crore of rupees today, and therefore that privilege is afforded to members, where a special rate is given to hold functions. However, I am allowed to get my guests or have any other, even a commercial event. I can introduce someone on my membership, but the rates are different. Further, a security deposit is taken for any event. Now for him to say that he was not aware, so and to disprove that, can you, to, I'm just showing you this document. Now, should I show it? Yeah. So here if you see, this says April 2023. This is an extract from the booking register. Jemimah Rodriguez. Polly sir. Polly is our president's nickname. 17,700. This is not a rate for outsiders. Now an evangelist organization is carrying out whatever function, their religious propagation, is certainly not her private function. So this rate, first of all, is wrong. Further it see this in brackets, not taken deposit as per Vivek Devnani instructions. This clearly proves that he was very much in the know of things. He had full knowledge of what was going on. And it is under his instructions. Our staff do not have the authority, leave alone the staff. None of us have an authority to waive any deposit or reduce any amount for someone, not even the president. It cannot be done without the approval of the managing committee. These things never came up before us, but he had full knowledge of it.
Mr. Gadekar, while you have very reputed and elite athletes like Sachin Tendulkar, Sunil Gavaskar, PV Sindhu who have been associated, and you last year took the decision to get Jemimah also and offer her the membership. But you walked into something very shocking and found a lot of equipments. What was it inside the room where the religious programs were going on? Can you please tell us?
Yeah, because some staff members told me about these regular happenings, I went along with Mr. Malhotra and one more member to check out what's happening. But at that time, you know, the room was completely dark. There was heavy amount of trance music going on. There were UV lights all around, and there were about 50 to 100 people sitting inside, mostly women. And then this lady asked me, why have you come in? And I said, I want to join. So she took a number, took my name down and gave me a small token. I went and joined the group that was sitting sat on one of the chairs. After some time, Mr. Malhotra and the other member left. Then they kept talking about someone, he's coming, you know, and telling us what like as if some supernatural being is going to come and deliver us out of all our problems, you know. It was too dark, so I couldn't photograph anything. Yeah. And then suddenly they made us stand up, and then he made us put both our hands up and swing to some music, and they were singing some type of prayers, something he was saying, which was too loud, and in that music, my hearing is not very good, so I couldn't really make out what he was saying, but it was something to that, you know, that he's healing everybody, and he's going to come and all that. It sounded as if he's like doing a lot of convincing, you know, lot of, you know how these conversion things are happening, which we see on television. So then I was quite stunned. After some time, I got out. And what did I see? I saw that the managing committee meeting had ended, and Mr. Malhotra was talking along with them with the president. His head was in his hands, and he said, okay, then I'll resign. You all want me to resign and things like that. Subsequently, you know, Mr. Malhotra has shown you whatever we went inside and found out. What strikes me is that as soon as this lady became a member, she started this stuff, one. And as if like a quid pro quo, you know, immediately after membership.
Like pre-planned, you all inducted her last year, and last year only all of this began.
Yes. It was as if, you know, that's one thing. And we have got 50 other auditoriums in this. Why only Khar Gymkhana's auditorium? You know, so it's, and you know, the equipment that I saw inside and this regular payments, and there must be some heavy funded organization, you know.
Sir, sorry to abruptly interrupt you, but you are also holding on to a document. If you can point it out and show what the first paragraph reads. Yeah. This was also discussed in your annual general meeting, and it came up for discussion as well. It says bulk bookings and blocking of the presidential hall by honorary playing member Ms. Jemimah Rodriguez for religious conversion purposes. If once I can ask my camera person Swapnil to quickly zoom and show our viewers and our audience members that her father, Mr. Ivan Rodriguez, was using the hall and the auditorium inside the Khar Gymkhana for religious conversion purposes. Sir, I want to actually, before you say anything, I want to check that certain dues amounting to between 3 and 3.5 lakhs were also, you have also emerged as one of the whistleblowers. What was that exactly?
So first thing, let me take you back to the constitution and rules. Our constitution is very clear. Rule 4A clearly stipulates that you cannot have any kind of religious propagation. So in the first place, that itself was wrong. Okay. Now coming back to the areas, when this matter came up, I certainly raised this issue because it was causing a loss to our club. And therefore, once I raised this issue, very quickly the president somehow got in touch, probably with her father, and collected the areas of around 3,50,000 to 3,60,000 thereafter. That further goes to prove that 35 events were held at a rate that should not have been given. So,
ma'am, my final question to you would be this. How did you exactly find out? Was it also because of certain members who also parallelly acted as whistleblowers, or what was it? Because this seems to be a very serious allegation and an objection that was being raised.
We actually stumbled onto it, if you really go to see, because they went in and saw it in that day in the hall, and that day itself was our managing committee meeting, and immediately it was taken up.
in fact, the reason we are saying we stumbled, because we thought it's a one-off, maybe a couple of events. When we actually got into the records, we had to just keep going backwards, and we had to go backward for 1 year. For 1 year this was happening, right under our nose.
So it says about 35 to 36 meetings, so 3 meetings on an average per month are being held within a span of 12 months.
Certainly, absolutely. And my concern is, like she said earlier, like, we have the highest regard for Jemimah as a player. But I think she knew that this privilege was afforded to her to play cricket. And for every booking that takes place, there is a separate form filled up, which you have to fill up for what purpose, for whose use. She should have been mindful that she's filling up forms, 35 events are taking place. There was a booking for maybe another 25 right up to November. I guess, I mean, that is the least she should have taken care of. She's not a kid, she's an adult, and she should have known, she should have been mindful that this is wrong. The facility is provided for sporting activities and not for any other activity.
Ma'am, lastly, so as of now, in the current situation, her membership stands cancelled.
As the annual general meeting was held, and the members at the meeting have unanimously passed that. So, as of now, yes, it does stand cancelled.
Thank you all for your time. With cameraman Swapnil Devkotak for India Today, Mumbai.